Okay guys, welcome back to Darish Zone, and this is a very fast video. With a great surprise, I will made another video about it, and this is RECALBOX 7.0, the stable release, and this sound fantastic RB Emulation Station 7.0 reloaded. So this is the RECALBOX. I'm sure you already know about it because you also saw on the Darish channel, of course. And this is the last version of this the king probably of the user-friendly front-end, retro gaming front-end based entirely on Linux. Is not on top of this is the Raspberry Pi 4 version, but is available also for PC and also for Android and also for Pi3. This is the Pi4 4GB version because it was I was curious about this version because it should be capable of unleash the power of this system. In that first video I will only show the contents you find when you run the first time, when you burn first time the front end. And the RECALBOX team made a very interesting setting. Basically you have a lot of homebrew free game for a lot of system already installed. So in the next video we'll show the games and the ROMs with all the BIOS you can install. This is just the vanilla experience, but you are not harmless, you are not naked, because you are some game to play, free game. For example, in Commodore 64 I noticed that there's the Commodore Plus 4 and is all under EMULATOR. So it's very interesting to have the EMULATOR emulator for the Commodore 64 and the Commodore Plus 4, and I suppose at that point even the Commodore VIC-20. But let's see together the option. I have already configured the controller, of course. Sorry, I'm just excited. And those are the options you find when you open the menu after you set the controller. And the most famous controller is already recognized, like 8-bit-2, the PlayStation DualShock controller, the Xbox 360 controller, the Xbox One controller. So it's very user-friendly experience since beginning. So the option, you have the Kodi Media Center, because Kodi is included into the front end, is already installed, and you can switch between Kodi and the RECALBOX. With Kodi you can just enjoy multimedia contents, video, music, and all the multimedia. This is the system setting, and let's see. There you have some info of the system, which is of course the 7.0. The disk usage I've tested on the 256GB card, and as you can see, the disk space used is very little because the card is empty. Basically, the storage device, you can select between internal or external, so you can run the front end even on external USB card or disk. And the keyboard is Italian in my case because I'm Italian, but you can set the keyboard on your country, language. Of course, I've just lived the English, but you can select the language you want. Let's keep English for all convenient, everyone convenience updates. There you can update the system, but the system is new, so there is not update, of course, at the moment. The game settings. There you can select right into the front end. You can select the ratio, which is very useful. You can select you have plenty of choices. The 4/3 is the very classic CRT type ratio, but you can switch for the 69, which is the widescreen. Let's keep a widescreen for now, because I have to install the bezel. The bezel are not, unfortunately, the bezel, you cannot set the bezel on the fly like Batocera, but this is very Batocera exclusive feature. You can set the overlays directly into the menu. Autosave load, the shaders, you can set the shaders on the menu, so you can look, there's plenty of choices. And the shader set, scan lines, retro. Integrate scale, this is if you want the real scale of the game screen. Retro achievements, net play settings. Don't forget that RECALBOX is the most easy system to use for the net play. No doubt about that. The controller setting, here you can configure your controller, and you can choose until 10 up to 10 controller, and you can select the controller which you want as main control. In that case, I have dual shock for Sony PS4 controller, so I've set this as main controller. Okay, while settings, you can select there the screensaver. The screensaver, you can select between DIM, black, or demo. Demo is interesting because you can basically run a game as a screensaver. Is very interesting, and is one of the idea of the RECALBOX team. Papa setting, there you can choose the window of the background music play, which I have disabled for this test, but you can enable on the sound option. The virtual keyboard, you can decide to have the virtual keyboard. There, the theme, you can install the theme you wanted. By default, there's the famous RECALBOX next. Update game list. When you have installed new ROMs, you have to update game list to see new stuff. The sound setting, there you can set the volume, or you can enable or disable the background music player. Let's try to enable. I just hate the music default by RECALBOX, but hey, that doesn't work. But let's keep it off for now. Network setting, you can select. In that case, I have my network setting. You can select your SSID. The scraper, there's internal scraper. You can select between screen scraper. Of course, the RECALBOX is French, so advanced setting. Overclock, and this is the first disappointment, because you cannot select any overclock profile for the Pi4, which is a little disappointing, because I expecting to push the clock of the Pi4 a little more. So in that case, it means you stuck to the 1400 gigahertz clock of the Pi4. the empty option, let me guess that they works on that, and maybe they will add later on the next releases. Boot settings, you can select if you want to start or Kodi. Virtual system, this is interesting because it works similar to the collection for the emulation station. You can select what you want on the main screen. Fighting beat 'em up, you see. Okay, move on. You can choose to hide adult games and systems. This is for the kids, of course. Advanced simulator configuration, you can select the emulator for every system, and show for the Commodore 64, which I love. You know, you have all the emulators that runs under LibreTrove, so it is very interesting. I want to make some tests. So you can select the emulator you want for every system. Kodi setting, you have some option for Kodi 2. Overscan, if you want the overscan, show frame rate, RECALBOX API, the BIOS checking. This is very interesting because it's a utility to help you to set properly the BIOS for the systems, and of course there's a lot of missing BIOS. Open source list, this is just buonanotte. This is just a claim. So let's see. Okay, we saw everything. Just jump into action a little. For example, those games which are, I suppose, are all free games. Adversary Time. This is should be Commodore +4 games. Let's try. It should runs full screen because you see the +4 and the VIC-20 are extremely hard system to emulate. I've tried myself with my images, but it's not easy at all. Okay, so the drill there is the controls must works. I can't believe it, guys. You have the +4 games. Okay, this is homebrew games, not currently released game. I think the full screen is a little odd. Let's let's back to the classic radio, maybe it's better. Okay, it's very relaxing video for the first touch, first contact with the RECALBOX. But don't worry, we'll see on the second video. We'll see other stuff. This is X-Force. This is should be interesting. Let's try that one. This is a shoot 'em up. The Psytronic sells some games, and some games are free. And this is a free game, of course. They not include retail or commercial game to their distro. Okay, in that case, the fire button doesn't work. So. I have to. The buttons are all different. Okay, and this is the track menu, and as you can see, there's the very new GUI. So it's very modern, very visual. You know, I prefer the very old matrix style green menu because it's Well, the retropad is already configured by default. Let's try with the visual keyboard unfortunately. Luckily, not unfortunately, luckily, the Commodore 64 have the visual keyboard. Otherwise, it should be very difficult. Okay, I have to switch the joy. Okay. Don't forget, since I forget, that the Commodore 64 have two different ports, joystick ports, so you have to switch between them. It's a very case-by-case scenario, you have to be a little patient. Okay, the control is already configured to the analog sticks, so it's very... as you can see, it's very typical of the RECALBOX. All is already configured out of the box, so they made the hard work for you, and I appreciate this thing since the beginning. This is one of the best... Oops, I I run again the game, sorry. One of the best feature of the RECALBOX is it's so user-friendly. So it's one of the best distro if you don't want to waste time on settings, or you just want to play Amiga 600. And there's new system, of course, like Thomson Solaris. It's very obscure system, sorry, but I don't know that. It's an open source game. Okay, I was thinking this is an old retro system, but it's not. Pokemon Mini, Auric, and this Tangerine computer system. I don't know Auric, pardon, excuse me, but it's interesting they added so old. The GX 4000. This is another system very hard to emulate. We should try the official games of the GX 4000 because they run so bad on RetroPie. Let's try there. This is just another free game, so it will run good, I suppose. Whoops. That was not my intention. Okay, this is need the visual keyboard. I don't remember how to enable the visual keyboard for the... Damn, the RECALBOX have the button inverted compared to RetroPie. Sorry, I have to get used to it. The Atari 800, another hard system to emulate, very hard. And let's try the most obscure. At least one mounted BIOS missing for EMULATOR. So you get going. Okay, it's aware me that I need a BIOS. They not included because probably it's a commercial BIOS. Yes. Let's see if you runs it even without this BIOS required. This is very, very hard, guys. It's under EMULATOR, even that one. And I'm curious if is Atari 8. Okay, so it's still the same emulator that share Atari 800 and Atari 5200. Sorry, this probably... okay, this don't work. I need the BIOS. It's a little silly to include the system and the games without the required BIOS, but Okay, the 5200, another hard system, and this is the same thing. It's the missing BIOS to run these games. I know those systems are hard to emulate. I very know, because I have to scratch those systems from my image for a reason. Doesn't seem to work. No, there's not trace of life. I'm sorry. Okay, Apple II. This is scare me a little. Let's pull to another hard system simulator. Let's try the hardest system tonight. Oh, that scared me. Oh, ay, ay, ay. Okay, RECALBOX. Output to HD ready, not full HD. This is so basic. This is beyond the retro gaming. I have to shoot ships. No, I don't think so. I have to shoot the wolf, not the ships. Oh my gosh, I have the shepherd and I have to hit the wolf, not the ships. Okay, I'm a freak, guys, but I like that a little. I remember when I programmed the VIC-20 games. So sad. Okay, I'm a freak, but I like this a lot. I dig this a lot. It's so basic. Okay. Ooh. I wonder how I can exit from that. There must be a way. Apparently no. Whoa! There's another combination to exit the emulator. Mamma mia. Let's see the it's just line Apple. The old line Apple is used, but it's already configured, and I assure you the configure line Apple is a fucking nightmare. And this is the Apple IIG GS. Still BIOS required, my friends. Amstrad. The Amiga, there's just one game. Sinclair, the X, the Vectrix. I think Vectrix uses the bezel. Okay. Ah, the commas are inverted. Boom. Call it old if you want. The Thompson, let's see. ScanVM. The ScanVM should use the normal ScanVM, not the Libretto ScanVM, because the Libretto ScanVM is too complicated and is not evolved like the normal ScanVM. This is okay, as you can see, this is the normal ScanVM. No doubt about it. It's the normal scam VM. Game over, yeah. Okay, this is the best choice, I think. Some porters Doom their Quake. I let you Quake. Some NES games. Mega Drive games. And television games. 3 television game that I don't know. Deep Zone. Still need BIOS, guys. Okay, they added plenty of games, but they not added the BIOS. Okay, I want to test. Let's try Mega Drive game. Then we salute and we see for the next video when they will show some harder stuff. Bug ants. Sega. Seems Microsoft doesn't own Sega yet. Is that legit? I don't know this game. Whoa. Watch out, guy. Okay. That's enough for tonight. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know your impression, your feedbacks, your opinion, because I care. And thumbs up to the video, subscribe to channel, and wait for the second part, the second video. And the RECALBOX 7.0 is out. You can download and test by yourself. You can find the download link on the video description. Thanks for watching, and we catch up on the next one. Bye bye.